Appreciates that, and I will now recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. Mullin, for 5 minutes to ask your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chairman Carr, as we've heard today from my colleagues, there are serious concerns about the FCC's actions during your tenure and that they crossed the line into interference with free speech, a concern that I share. Will you simply commit today that the FCC will not use its licensing authority, enforcement role, or claims of news distortion to politically pressure or punish broadcasters for their editorial decisions?
The FCC is going to enforce the public interest standard, news distortion, broadcast hoax rule, and that's the actions we're going to take.
I want to emphasize the importance of editorial independence to our democracy. Broadcasters, whether public, private, local, or national, need to be able to exercise lawful journalistic judgment without fear of retaliation from the federal government. That principle is foundational to the First Amendment and to a functioning democracy. So Commissioner Gomez, in your testimony today, you warned that the commission has asserted what you describe as a, quote, roving mandate to police speech it does not like, relying on an undefined and unchecked interpretation of the public interest standard. Can you explain in plain terms the role Congress has given to the FCC, and should the FCC be in the business of content regulation, especially in light of how people are now receiving their content?
Yes, thank you for that question. The FCC does regulate the broadcast licensing to serve the public interest, but the public interest is not some nebulous standard that can be used in order to target any content that this administration doesn't like. And that is the problem with this continued use of this public interest standard, is that if it exists to punish broadcasters because of their editorial decisions or because of their news reporting. We need to go back to simply conducting our role of ensuring that the broadcasters have the infrastructure that they need and in order to be able to serve their local communities. And that is what I think we should be doing. We should not be pressuring broadcasters on their content. It violates the First Amendment and the Communications Act prohibition on censorship.
Thank you for that. And out of respect for time, just one final issue. In light of $1 billion rescission cut to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and its impact on our emergency alert systems, given that extreme weather events are increasing in both frequency and severity, is the FCC prepared to provide, and I'll ask you again, Commissioner Gomez, additional technical support to local broadcasters to both maintain and build out resilient emergency alerting systems, particularly for rural and underserved communities that rely on public and local broadcasters for life-saving information?
Thank you for bringing to light this issue with the defunding of public broadcasters. Not only are we losing educational programming, local news, a lot of civic engagement, but we are also losing the backbone of our emergency alert system. And I am unaware that the FCC has any activities to address this issue, but it's something that we really need to consider. I would urge Congress to refund public media because of the important services that they provide, both from a public safety perspective and also to their local communities.
I certainly share that view. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you all for your testimony. I yield back.